I'm often asked for my perspective on guns. Seems like after every school shooting, whether it's at Columbine or the most recent one in Texas, people want to know, Larry, what do you think regarding the use of guns? Is it proper for Christians to own them? Well, full disclosure, I was raised in the military around men who took the use of weapons very seriously for both personal protection and for the defense of this country. Indeed, my own father began teaching his two sons how to use a weapon properly well before we were 10 years of age. So I want you to know that from the outset. That tells you a little bit about my perspective right there. I should also tell you that I'm a supporter of the Second Amendment. Do I think that everyone needs to own one? No, certainly not. But do I think it's immoral to own one, to use one for your own self-defense, or to use one for sporting, say shooting clay, skeet, a trap shooting, or for hunting? No, I don't. So what then is my perspective regarding all of these school shootings, the violence that we see in our streets? I think the left's answer that we need to simply get rid of guns, we know that this really isn't the source of the problem. I mean, thinking historically, Americans for, roughly 150 years or more, they all, it seems, had weapons in their homes and used them for hunting, for self-defense, and for the defense of this country. I'll also add that the Second Amendment wasn't written during the best of times. It was on the heels of a war with Britain, a war for independence. So when the Second Amendment is talking about the right to bear arms shall not be infringed, it isn't just simply talking about hunting or for sporting. It has in mind self-defense. It has in mind that individuals need it to prevent tyranny. But what about the problems in this country? Well, the left wants to say at one and the same time, defund the police, and then wonder where the police are when something like this happens. The two are not consistent messages. Our police have been attacked and degraded and systematically replaced over the course of several years now. And as you can well imagine, that is having a detrimental effect in all of our communities. I think we're seeing that in rising crime rates. Finally, the problem is a spiritual disease. On the one hand, the left has attacked the Christian faith relentlessly. On the other, they wonder why some would ignore the junction, thou shalt not kill. Kids are being raised fatherless, rootless, spiritually void, and are exposed to every kind of television and online violence and horror. Indeed, it's celebrated. That there are school shootings is not an argument against guns. It may perhaps mean that the need for guns has never been greater to defend our families, greater to defend our children, greater to defend the principles in which we believe. I'm reminded of a statement made by Pericles after the first year of the Peloponnesian War, in which he said this: happiness depends on freedom, and freedom depends on courage. Very frequently, that courage means a willingness to fight to defend those things that we believe in. That, at least, is my opinion.